Diana Ross is a household name, and for a good reason. She's had an amazing career that spanned decades, but there are some things about her that you might not know. Diana Ross is one of the most legendary singers of our time, but do you know the secrets behind her success? In this video, we will look closely at her love life and see if there's any story to the love triangle she was involved in with Cher. Did Diana Ross groom Michael Jackson? And also, what happened to the Supremes? Stay tuned. Diana Ross was born in 1944 in Detroit, the second of 6 children. Her father was a carpenter and her mother was a homemaker. Diana quit school at age 15 to join the Supremes, which became one of the most successful female groups in history. The group released 12 studio albums and scored 12 #1 hits, including Where Did Our Love Go?, Baby Love, and Stop in the Name of Love. In 1970, Diana Ross embarked on a solo career with the release of her self-titled debut album. It featured the hit single Ain't No Mountain High Enough, which reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Her follow-up album, 1971's Surrender, also topped the charts. Ross continued to score hits throughout the 1970s and 1980s with songs like Touch Me in the Morning. Diana Ross and Cher have been friends for years. Diana Ross and Cher rose to stardom around the same time in the 1960s, becoming 2 of their generation's most iconic female singers. As singers, they seemed destined to cross paths at some point, and they did. The women became friends. By 1975, they were co-presenters at the first and short-lived Rock Music Awards. But they also hung out outside work, enjoying each other's company on and off stage. Though their friendship has endured for decades, it hasn't always been easy. These 2 powerhouse ladies have had their fair share of disagreements, most notably over Cher's relationship with Cher's ex-husband, Sonny Bono. But despite the ups and downs, their bond has remained strong, a testament to the power of female friendship. Cher and Gene Simmons had a long-lasting relationship that began in 1978. In a 1979 interview with People, they both discussed their relationship openly. Cher admitted they weren't monogamous, but said it was the best relationship she'd ever had. Cher has stated that she is only seriously involved with one man, Gene Simmons. She said that she may have seen other men for companionship, but that she is crazy about Simmons, and he is her first love. Cher is described as an untainted soul who has never done anything bad to anybody. In 2015, Simmons revealed that he fell for Ross while still dating Cher. He told the Mirror that they connected while Christmas shopping for Cher. Simmons said that Ross became his best friend and they started a relationship. However, after the relationship started, Cher and Ross stopped speaking to each other. Diana Ross and Cher once had a love triangle with Gene Simmons of Kiss. Though the 2 women are still friends today, things didn't end well between them and Simmons. Diana Ross dated for 2 years. Cher went on to date another rocker in 1980, Les Dudek. As for Diana Ross, it's rumored that she dated Michael Jackson for a brief period. Diana Ross was the love of Michael Jackson's life. He met her in 1969 when the Jackson 5 signed with Motown. Berry Gordy, who had an affair with Diana and fathered a daughter with her, was mesmerized by Jackson. Ross was credited with discovering the Jackson 5, but it was a PR stunt. Gordy wanted people to believe that Jackson was only 9 years old when they met, when he was 11. Diana Ross was an important professional and personal figure in Michael Jackson's life. He admired her greatly and looked up to her as a role model. Rumor has it that they were even engaged twice, although Ross ultimately called off the wedding both times. Some say that she did this because she didn't want her career to suffer by marrying someone 14 years younger than her. Diana Ross and Michael Jackson were rumored to have hooked up while filming The Wiz. One of Diana's personal assistants said he had difficulty getting a hold of them one morning as they were supposed to be on set. The assistant claimed he eventually got a hold of them and found out they were at Jackson's apartment. It was later revealed that Ross spent the night there. Ross was allegedly overheard talking to her friends about the experience, saying that Jackson wasn't gay, contrary to popular belief. Ross and Jackson deflected the question when asked about what happened between them. This question fueled the fire smoldering for years about these two icons hooked up. At the time, Ross was 39 and Jackson was just 21. Jackson was known to have a bit of an obsession with Ross, even going so far as to get a nose job to look more like her. The two previously worked together on the film The Wiz prior to these rumors. There has been no confirmation or denial from either party about what happened that night. Michael says he finally took charge of his life and career at age 24. He has found a new girlfriend that he is pleased with. His goal is to provide a nice home for his mother and eventually get married and move to Switzerland. Ebony, December 1982. When he was a kid, an Obeah man gave him the idea that burning candles with a central picture of his beloved would keep her from leaving him. So, he always had thousands of candles burning to central pictures of Diana Ross. That same scene was replicated in the video when he had the crowd holding up thousands of candles to his beloved Diana at the end. Diana Ross is the only woman he ever had this type of candle ceremony for, and the song has her written all over it. She was the love of his life. He acted so differently around her, and they had undeniable chemistry. And why else would he put her in his will to look after his kids? Deep down, he wanted her to be the mother of his children. Diana Ross has had her share of heartache and happiness when it comes to love. The singer has been married twice, first to music executive Robert Ellis Silberstein from 1971 to 1977, and then to Norwegian shipping magnate Arne Næss Jr. from 1986 to 2000. Between those marriages, Ross was in a long-term relationship with Motown founder Berry Gordy. The song Dirty Diana, DD, is 100% about Diana Ross. She was the love of his life, and after she promised to marry him, he thought his dream was finally coming true. She agreed to marry him in the mid-'80s and accepted his ring. You see it on her finger at the Motown 25th show and the AMA of '84. In fact, at the AMA, it was the first time she kissed him in the mouth, in public. She held his face in her hand so people could see the ring. She was testing the waters to see how the public would react. Diana has always done that. They then allegedly told his mother. Katherine Jackson threw a fit. She told Diana she was too old for her son and that she was spoiling him. She called the papers and told reporters. Reporters began following and harassing Diana. They kept making age cracks and calling her a cradle robber. Diana could not take the pressure. She ran off with Arne Næss instead and left MJ devastated. He was so angry and upset that he wrote many love and heartbreak songs about her. This is because Diana left him for a famed mountain climber. Michael Jackson was letting her know he would not give up. He would keep fighting for her. After Michael Jackson stopped crying, he got angry. He had spent millions buying her whatever she wanted and years trying to marry her, only to be rejected. He wrote Dirty Diana, which was mean-spirited and designed to make her look like a slut. It was originally much worse. Diana Ross caused a lifelong feud between Michael Jackson and Gene Simmons when she slept with Gene and called out Michael Jackson's name. Gene blamed Michael Jackson for breaking his heart. The two were life's enemies. However, Diana continued to date musicians. including Lionel Richie of the Commodores, Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees, and Gene Simmons of Kiss. Michael wrote a revenge song about her called "She Likes the Boys in the Band." Diana Ross truly loved the musicians in her life. He wrote the song and made her sound like a whore. The second verse went in hard at her and called her a whore. The Supremes' journey to widespread fame took place in several stages. They started as the Premettes and went from being a no-hit group to one of the most successful all-female bands of the 1960s and 1970s. Their breakthrough hit, "Where Did Our Love Go?" propelled them to the top of the music scene in the 1960s. They competed with successful artists like the Beatles and Elvis Presley. Despite their initial struggles, they eventually found success. The band originally consisted of Diana Ross, Mary Wilson, Florence Ballard, and Betty McGlown, who started as the Premettes. However, the lineup changed after Motown Records president Berry Gordy signed the band. From the beginning, it was clear that Ross was given more importance than the other band members. This eventually led to Ross leaving the band in 1970 to pursue a solo career. As for the Supremes, they disbanded in 1977. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Diana Ross is a legendary figure in music history, and her love triangle with Cher and Michael Jackson is just one example of the superstar's fascinating life. Stay tuned to this channel for more interesting stories about your favorite celebrities.